Hello and welcome to the very first episode that I'll be posting on this YouTube channel, specifically on the Unity 2D platformer series. So, in today's episode, our main objective is downloading all the applications, which is Unity, Unity Hub, and Visual Studios. So, if you're wondering what is Visual Studios, well, Visual Studios is a very powerful developer tool that has been used by many developers to code many languages. Uh, we're gonna start this video by downloading Visual Studios. So to download Visual Studios, you just need to type in Visual Studio download. You're gonna click this website and it's gonna bring you up to this screen. So for those of you who do not want to type in the browser the keywords, you can click on the link that I'm going to be providing in the video's description. You're going once you click that link, you're gonna also go to the screen. So in this screen, we can see that we have the community version, the professional version, and the enterprise version. Of course, the professional version is a free trial, and the enterprise is also a free trial. So we're gonna click in the community free download. So once you've clicked this, it's gonna ask permissions. You can accept that, and then it's gonna bring you up to a screen somewhat similar to this. Oh, not that. Visual Studio. Oh, not that. It's gonna bring you up to an installer, and then it's basically like this. So what I want you guys to do is skip all of this except the game development with Unity. So click, like, right click this like this. It's gonna show a check bar or checklist here, and then click the modify. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is go to your browser, type in the keyword Visual Studio download, or click the link, which is gonna bring you to this page. Click on the community version, click the free download, and then it's gonna bring you up to a screen like this. And scroll down to game development with Unity, click it, and then modify. Pause the video until you've done all the steps that I've just said before. Okay, so I'm assuming that all of you guys have already downloaded Visual Studios, and now we're gonna download Unity. If you haven't downloaded Visual Studios, you can play back the video and do the steps that I've said. Okay, so now to download Unity, you go to Unity download, click download Unity. It's gonna bring you up to this page. So just like before, I'm going to provide the link to this website in the description on the video. So you can either type what I did just now, or click the link down in the description of the video. So now we're gonna download Unity Hub. Click download Unity Hub, and then it's gonna ask for permissions. You're gonna accept that, and the download should begin. So pause the video right here until the download for Unity Hub is completed. Okay, so I'm guessing that you guys have downloaded Unity Hub and wondering what's the point of downloading Unity Hub. Well, Unity Hub is actually a very useful tool that's created by Unity, of course, to help you manage all your projects and also manage all the versions. As you can see, if I right click here, it's going to show me all the versions I have. But currently I only have one version, so there's not, of course, only one version. But then if I decide to update my Unity, it's gonna eventually pop in here, like for example 2020 or 2018, and I can just select one of these versions. As you can see, there's also this Unity version, and yeah. It also manages all your products, or I mean all your projects. So you can actually list and see them through the Unity Hub. Okay, so now if you go back to the download Unity, you can also choose your Unity plus download. Click that, and you're gonna be directed to this page right here, and there's like two tabs. It's individual or business tab, and and all the versions available. So we're not gonna do anything with the business since it's actually paid, as you can see. I'm gonna click the individual section, and we're gonna click the either the personal version or the student version. So of course I recommend clicking the personal version because you don't need to sign up like stuff like student ID card and stuff like that. So click on the personal version, which is free, unless you made $1,000, 1,000K in the past 12 months. So at that point, Unity will assume that you have enough money to actually buy Unity properly. So for the moment, unless you don't make 100K in 12 months, this version is free. So click on Get Started, and there's like two options: first time user or returning user. And since I'm guessing that all of you are beginners, or I'm safe to assume that all of you are beginners, click on the first time user and click start here. Once you've clicked start here, it's gonna bring you up to a folder selection file setting thing where you can save the file in the folder of your choice. And of course, there's gonna be the permissions. Just accept that, and changes made to your device, just also accept that. And yeah, Unity should start downloading. Then there's gonna be like a quick tutorial that Unity will provide. You can either do that or skip the tutorial, or you can close the tutorial because I'll be explaining all the features of Unity again in this video. So you can either play with the tutorial and have a huge head start, or you can just skip the tutorial and and you won't be missing anything because I will be explaining that again. So what I want you guys to do is type in Unity download, and then you're gonna click the Unity Plus personal version, the personal version, the free one right here. Click Get Started. Go to the first time user, click Start here, and then pause the video and get back once you finish with the tutorial or skip the tutorial. Okay, so once you've downloaded Unity, I will be teaching you guys how to make your very first project. So to start off, let me close this file first. Go to Unity Hub, click it, it's gonna load. Go to New, go to the here, as you can see, when I click New, there's a template version, setting version, and the location of the file. So of course, as you can see, there's the 2D version, 3D with extras, FPS macro game, universal render pipeline, 2D platformer macro game, karting macro game, high definition role playing. So Unity has already provided some of the templates for your projects, so you can easily modify them. But since I want this to be a really educational and really functional coding series, we're gonna click the 2D, since we're gonna make a 2D platformer, and start off from scratch. Okay, so we can say, I'm gonna call it Unity tutorial, Unity tutorial platformer. Go click on create here, and it's gonna load.
2,000 years later.
Okay, so after that long Now, after that long loading, Unity have already loaded all the scenes, templates, and all the functions that it needs to load. So a very important tip when starting off the Unity for the first time is to go to the Edit and Preferences, go to click External Tools and External Script Editor, and click here Visual Studios. Because if we don't click this, Visual Studios won't recognize the file. So go to Unity. So what I want you guys to do firstly, before we start the coding and tutorials in all the features that Unity has, you gotta go to Edit, Preferences, External Tools, okay, and go to External Script Editor and click Visual Studios. Okay, so once you've done that, so basically Visual Studios can detect that the script you're editing is for Unity. So yeah. Okay, so once you've done that, I'm gonna be teaching you all the features, but of course, step at a time. So the part here is the inspector tool. It's gonna inspect anything that you have clicked. So for example, we're gonna click the main camera, and our inspector tool tells us that this is a main camera. The name of the main camera is main camera. We can change the name, of course, to whatever we say, like cool camera, and click on here. And as you can see, the name changes to cool camera. That is basically the name. I'm gonna type it back to main camera. Okay, and then we've got the check bar here, which is to disable or enable the main camera, or anything. You can disable or enable a game object or anything. So we've got a tag, and this tag is will be used more for coding, for identifying objects. The layer is to tell you whether it's in the front layer, the back layer, or you want it to be overlapping a thing or behind a thing. It's going to be used for layers. The transform is a function that Unity actually has provided to help you control the position. So if you slide the X, it will move X. And if we slide the Y, it goes up and down. Z is the depth position. We won't be actually changing anything in the Z position since it's just a 2D game. So I'm going to reset the position by clicking 0 and 0, or you can just like pretend type in like 443 and like, oh, like the numbers are very large. You can click this 3 dots here and go to reset position, and it's gonna basically reset everything. That's a very helpful tool for you to reset an object, like settings. You got the camera tool, the camera property. This is of course going to be discussed when we are coding and as the tutorial progresses. Yeah, and this everything here, you don't need to really know about this yet. What you really need to know is these features right here, these two bars: name, enable or disable, transform, position, tag, and layer. That's it. So now talking to the tools here, I got a lot of tools here. You got the hierarchy, got the game view, the asset store, which we'll be talking or explaining in the next video. So yeah, so we're just gonna go to the tools right now. We got the hand tool. So the hand tool is essentially for you to drag your view. So yeah, this is used to drag the view. Of course, you're not moving anything but just moving your perspective. The second tool is the move tool, and the move tool is for moving objects, of course. So you can click on an object you want to move. In this case, the main camera. Click, then you gotta see the up, like this green arrow, which goes yellow when you're near it with your cursor, and the red arrow, where that also changes to yellow. So I said before that transform is for moving objects, right? Well, the move tool can also do that. You can click on the arrows here to move. As you can see, the transform is also updating. So that's a simple way to move an object. And of course, you can also use this. And there's this square here and the up. Of course, the up arrow is just for moving up, but I can't move it left or right since it's just toggled. Since I'm only clicking the up arrow, it'll only go up and down no matter how hard I try to move it left or right. So same goes for the red arrow here. I can't move up and down, it's just left and right. So it's a really helpful tool if you just want to move in one direction, but doesn't want, like, you don't want to move it in other aspects like going up or down, or you just want to go left and right. So there's also a feature for incorporating both of these directions. It's like this tiny square here, like a right angle here. You can click it and it's just like a free move. Okay. And then we've got the rotate tool. Is it rotate tool? Yeah, it's the rotate tool. So the rotate tool is like its name, it's just rotating the position. No, it's just rotating the position. Then we've got the scale tool, which is used for scaling objects. But of course, since it's a camera, we don't actually see that much, but the transform property here, it's actually being manipulated with the movement of my cursor in the scale. So just like the move tool, there's also the X and Y, up or down, or just left or right. Yeah. So there's also this feature called the rect tool, but we're not gonna be using much of that. It's basically like changing the size, but then it's like a square size. But we're not gonna be using much of that. And then we've got the move. Oh, this is the move rotate tool. So it's basically incorporating all of this into one go. So you can directly rotate, and then you gotta rotate, scale, and you got everything. But that's not a good idea, especially when you want to actually like just want to change one aspect. So yeah, that's all the tools you will be needing Unity, and there's a shortcut actually to use to call them. So you can click the Q in your keyboard to open the hand tool. So for example, I'm gonna go to the rect tool, click Q, and it's gonna go to the hand tool. Hand tool. And if you click W, it's gonna go to the move tool. And if I click E, it's gonna go to the scale, to the rotate tool. And if I click R, it's gonna go to the scale tool, and yeah, you get it. So it progresses from Q to U. Q to U. Then I'm guessing you guys are also familiar with Control Z and Control Y, and Command Z and Command Y for MacBook. So this also applies for Unity. So for example, we are actually moving the main camera with the W, so we can go to the move tool, and for example, we're moving it here. Oh, and then like we don't want it to be moved here, we just want it to go back. So you can either click Control Z or Command Z for MacBook, and it's gonna reset this position. So yeah, or you can also click Control Y and Command Y to revert its position. So undo and redo, yeah. So another feature that Unity also has is the play feature. And in the game view or the play button, is that your game will run, or all the applications you've been coding will run. And in that time, all the changes you've made is reverted when you unclick the play button here. So it's actually just like a testing feature that Unity has added, so you can test the game if it's working right or wrong. But then I'll be explaining that more, and if you don't get the play feature and the game view, it's okay, because I'll be explaining it more in the next video when we really go into our assets and stuff. So another thing I want to teach you guys is the sample scene, is the scenes. So as you can see in our scenes folder, if we just click here and show in Explorer, which is our tabs right here, and I just close that first, go to scenes, sample scene. When we click it, it's gonna ask us to save or don't save. Just click save, then it's done nothing. Well, the thing is, in Unity, everything is made in scenes. So let's just say we're gonna make a new scene, which is by going to File, New Scene, okay, and then we're gonna file save here. It's gonna ask us to put it somewhere in our Explorer, and just click on the scenes here and just say it testing scene, okay, then click enter or click save, okay, and there's going to be a testing scene here. So what I'm trying to say is that Unity is actually working with scenes. So if you want to make a new look for the game or a new level, you have to make it through scenes. So if you just go to like testing scene, for example, and then as you can see from the name, it's called testing scene. And we're gonna click the camera and just, for example, let's just say that the position of the X is 100, okay, for the camera. I'm gonna file save this, move to the sample scene, and as you can see, our main camera in the sample scene is 0. And when we go to the testing scene, our main camera is 100. So scenes do not work as same. Just imagine scenes being a new document or a new file. So they do not actually have the same features, and all the code in one scene is different from the testing scene. So anything that's done in the testing scene is not going to be applied to any of the scenes, except you copy paste the scenes, of course. So we're just gonna move back to 0, and yeah, the file save. So if you're wondering how to save like the Unity file, go to File, Save, because it's saving the Unity file, but at the same time also saving the scenes. So yeah, that's a really helpful tool. And I'm going to teach you one more thing, which is duplicating scenes. So to duplicate scenes, go to the either one of the scenes you want to duplicate. For this case, let's just say testing scene. It's gonna go to File. Go to Edit, and then Duplicate. Or you can go to Control D or Command D for Mac. Click Duplicate, and it's gonna spawn you another testing scene. Click testing scene here, and it says testing scene 1. So that's how you duplicate files. Also, Unity uses this feature where it directly updates to your Explorer. So everything you do in the Explorer is going to be done in Unity. As you can see, there's like 3 scenes. And for example, I'm just going to delete testing scene 1. It's going to delete. And then when you go to the Explorer, testing scene 1 is gone. I also recommend not moving any files in Unity except if you drag the meta file also, like testing scene.unity.meta. Because if you don't drag the meta is basically since Unity is not since Unity is a software, it can only detect the item or file when it has the meta too. So do not ever move files without the .meta. Because if you move files without the .meta, because if you move the original file like testing scene Unity to another like folder, and then .meta is still stayed in the scenes folder. And like, let's just say, for example, I'm separating this to another folder like assets here. As you can see, I'm separating this too, right? It's not gonna work because Unity is only works when it has the original file and the .meta file. So when moving files, drag both sample scene.unity and the meta. Every file you're going to enter to Unity will have the .meta. So always drag two files at once. Okay, so I'm just gonna put testing scene meta back to scenes, and yeah, see, even folders have .meta. So yeah. Also, you can also create folders by right clicking, create folder, C# script, and there's like a lot more features, but I'm gonna be talking that in the next video. So for now, I think I'm going to be signing off, and yeah, thank you for watching the video. I hope that this video is very helpful for all of you guys who's gonna start making Unity platformers, and yeah, thank you for watching the video.